Strat-O-Matic Excel Carryover League. Brought to you by the Shrimp Troller. 1972 to 1975.
Game 114, Yankees at Red Sox. Welcome back, baseball fans. 1972-75 carryover league. We got a big series tonight, a best-of-7 series between the Yankees and Red Sox. In an era for them that was, well, the Yankees were renovating their stadium, and they were a couple years away till Reggie arrives, and they're kind of in a meh period. Red Sox go to the 75 series, so this is the first opportunity to achieve something like that for them because they added Fred Lynn to the roster. Anytime you add a Rookie of the Year MVP type who's a 1-3 E8 with a 331 batting average, puts you into the playoff hype at least. However, both teams struggled coming out of the gate this year, and they got swept. 3 straight. The Yankees got swept 3 straight by the Twins. Red Sox got swept 3 straight by Kansas City. So that's why this series is extremely important, because you don't want to continue this slide. And so we'll just show you what's going on. The series opened up in Yankee Stadium. They got cement mixers out there, and they're working on it, folks. You got Louis Tiant versus Mel Stoudemire in this one. Pitchers duel early, scoreless into the 5th. You get a walk, a single, and then an RBI single by Yaz. We put Yaz in the leadoff spot. We love him leading off. It's great. So 1-0. Yanks tied in the 7th. Roy White triple, sac fly Gene Michael. But in the 8th, Stoudemire runs into trouble. Some of it his own doing. A single after an out. A triple to Cecil Cooper. He commits an error. Stoudemire does. Then the reliever Luke Walker comes in, gives up a single and a double. That's your ball game. 5-1 final. El Tiante. Complete game, 7 hits, 1 run. Boston gets a road win in game 1. All right, so that means the Yankees haven't won a game yet, right? So let's happen in game 2. Bill Lee, the spaceman, versus Doc Medich. And the Red Sox jump all over the doctor early. First inning, 3 doubles by Yaz, Evans, and Fisk. 3 singles in the 2nd, and it's 4-zip. A triple by Fisk and a sac fly by Cooper in the 3rd. It's 5-zip. But the Yankees do have Bobby Mercer, their best player. After the spaceman makes an error, Mercer follows it up with a 2-run homer, and it's still a winnable game, 5-2. The Red Sox had a run in the 7th on a Dwight Evans homer. And the spaceman goes 8 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned. Ted Abernathy comes in and finishes this one off. 2-road win for the Boston Sox as they try and climb out of their 0-3 hole, at least one of these teams. So the series goes to Fenway Park, and you already got 2 road wins in your back pocket. Game 3, Mike Kekich for the Yankees, Rick Wise for Boston. And the Red Sox are just, they're putting some distance between their rival here. Again, they get off to a hot start. Yankees just can't muster any offense till it's too late. First inning, the Red Sox bat around with a walk and 2 walks and 4 singles, score 3 times. 4th inning, the bottom 5 hitters all reached, hit singles, a double and a single. That's their ball game right there. Gene Locklear hit a homer for the Yankees. There was a 2-run double by Chambliss in this. Too little, too late. Rick Wise, 7 innings, 11 hits, 3 runs, gets the win. Roger Moret gets a save in this one. Yeah, folks. It's 3-0. Red Sox have dominated, but it hasn't been like blowouts. But yeah, they've won by 3 or 4 games pretty reasonably the entire series. So what does that do to the American League East right now? Because the American League East has been playing rather poorly this year. At present, let's look up top here. Baltimore's, this hasn't been sorted yet because it's too early to sort. So the Orioles are 5-5 after tough battles with the White Sox and the Tigers. Toronto hasn't played yet; they're 1-3. And there's Boston, started at 0-3. They're now 3-3. But look at this, folks. Look at this. Your New York Yankees, 0-2, 0-season. 0-the-season right now. 0-2024. 0-6. When's the last time the Yankees started the season? 0-6. Go let me know. That's what the comment section's for. I don't know when. I'm just, I'm assuming maybe then, maybe here in this era from like 72 to 75. Maybe this is exactly the last time they were 0, or maybe the 80s. The 80s make some sense too. The Roy Smalley years. Maybe then, before Mattingly arrives, early 80s. I don't know. But let me know. Anyway, we got a Game 4 today in Fenway. And look, the Red Sox sweeping the Yankees is a big deal, regardless of what decade you're playing in. And today's starting pitching matchup, it does favor the visiting Yankees. They trot out former Met Jim McAndrew with a brilliant 1972 card. 11-8, 2.80 ERA, and 161 innings. One that got away from the New York Mets is all I can say. He got away, but he didn't leave the state. And the Red Sox, incredulously, all they're going to do is put on the mound today in a Game 4 the man who won Game 7 of the World Series last year for the Pittsburgh Pirates. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Steve Blass takes the mound for the Red Sox. Unbelievable to think the Pirates would let him go. And the reason is we gave the Pirates a crystal ball so they could see into the future and realize that Steve Blass turns into a pumpkin by 1973. So the Red Sox got him for a 1 year, and this is it. So your World Series champion on the mound looking for a sweep. Jim McAndrew versus Steve Blass. By the way, let me give you Blass's numbers just to be still 19-8 with a 2.48 ERA and 250 innings. But McAndrew's card just looks slightly better. Yankees Red Sox from Fenway Park. Let's get started. Leading off for the Yankees, it is Sandy Alomar, 1.7's a K. Thurman Munson, 110 base hit. Gene Locklear. That's right, folks. We're in the Gene Locklear era of Yankee history. Maybe that's why they're not. Yeah. Locklear, 311, fielder's choice. And Bobby Mercer, 2-8, double 1-2 is a base hit. Runners in the corners for Roy White. Slumping up atop, so he put him in the middle lineup because he has power, believe it or not. 46, a base hit off a blast to right field. That'll score a run. Mercer won't go coast to coast against Dwight Evans with 2 outs. That's an easy throw out. First and second, 2 outs for Chris Chambliss, and he bounces to short. But the Yankees finally get an early lead. Maybe that'll change their fortunes. Leading off for Boston, it's Yaz, 411, right X. You don't have the reliable Elliot Maddox out there. You got Locklear, a 4.10 in right field in Fenway Park. That's a base hit. Dewey Evans, 2-6 base hit center field. Not going to take on the Mercer arm. First and second, nobody out for your 1975 American League MVP Rookie of the Year, Freddie Lynn. 5-12, second X. Alomar is a 2.19 at second. It's a single dot off a 2 second baseman. Unreal. Everything's coming up Boston in this series. They've loaded them. Playing back for Carlton Fisk. 48 short X. Now that guy's is worse than the second baseman. He's a 3.34 at short. That's going to be an error. You look at the E rating here, it doesn't change, but he's a 34, which is worse than a 19. That makes it an automatic error for the Road team. We got a tie game. The Yankees can do no right, it seems. And it's only Cecil Cooper stepping into the box. 54 off McAndrew. I thought he was good. He really is. This is just not going very well at all. Homer, 1/16. Fly ball the rest. And Cecil Cooper, it's the pesky pole for 4 runs. A 4-runner. A Cooper 4-runner homer. New car made by Cooper Mini, the 4-runner. A grand salami, and it's 5-zip as every Red Sox has scored. 5-1 as every Red Sox has scored. Dwayne Anderson, 212, house of the catcher. Rick Miller, 38, second. And the Rooster, Rick Burleson, grounds the third. All right, Yankees need to regroup, or this season could be done before June, May. Greg Nettles, 47, base hit off Blas. Blas is not a rose against lefties. My goodness, he is kind of yucky, actually. Gene Michael, and the Yankees loaded this lineup up with 8 left-handed batters. So we expect to see a bullpen game today. Stick Michael, 3-6, center. Bernie Allen, K's, and 2 outs. It's Sandy Alomar, 6-12, center. You know, the funny thing, Bernie Allen, I added him to the Yankee roster in undrafted free agency, looking for a left-handed bat. You know, and I thought, what, they'll take him because he was better than any of the other guys out there. Then I flipped the card over, and lo and behold, what did I find? Bernie Allen played for the New York Yankees in 1972. Isn't it great when that happens? The guy you actually own fell to you anyway in the draft. All right, enough of that. Bottom of the second. It's Rico Petrocelli. That's how good Boston is. Petrocelli, just 3 years after hitting 40 homers in 1969, he's now batted 9th in this new potent Red Sox lineup. 55 off of McAndrew. Triple 1-3 base hit. Back up top to Yaz. 54 again. Same roll Cooper got. It's homer 1/16. He cannot get it. It's a double. Must have hit that deep center field shot and ricocheted into the garage door or whatever the hell's out there. Petrocelli will hold a third. Second and third, batters Dwight Evans. 2-4, center be question mark. We're not going to run Petrocelli. Not against Mercer's arm anyway. All right, 1 out. Yankees going to bring the infield up, hoping they'll make this a goose egg inning. Fred Lynn's the hitter. 2-7's a K, and with 2 outs, they move it back for Carlton Fisk. 4-10, lines to short. McAndrew battles back. So the slow-footed Petrocelli had to slow up at third and couldn't score in a sac fly. It stays 5-1. Still a winnable comeback is available to the Bronx Bombers. It's Munson leading off in the third. Rolls to short. Gene Locklear, 69, rolls to second. Bobby Mercer, 69, rolls to second. Steve Blass, the starter, 8. Doubt he'll pitch 8 innings at all this year, or unless he happens to face a team that doesn't have any left-handed hitters on it. Both bullpens are pretty good. Well, the Yankees have a fantastic bullpen. Boston, the back end's okay. The long men, not so much. Bottom of the third, and here is Cooper. And listen to these fans going nuts. Pesky pole and all. 42 flies to right field, but caught on the warning track. Dwayne Anderson acquired in the Rick Wise deal. 2-3, hit by the pitch. Rick Miller, 32. Oh, we have an injury. Short A++ injury. That'll end the inning, and he comes up hobbling, and we'll need a new left fielder, and we'll send Tommy Harper out there. We could put Yastrzemski. He's better. We'll put Tommy Harper out there. That's how deep this team is. They have Tommy Harper, Doug Griffin on the bench. Griffin's a 1 second baseman brought in as a defensive replacement. Top of the fourth. It's Roy White. 48 off blast. Single 1-5, and he cannot get it. Chris Chambliss, 2-5. Triple 108. Chris is having a nice year for the Yanks with his 75 card. Greg Nettles. 1-8. Let's take a look at a card I don't think we have to this point. Greg Nettles, 1972 card, still with the Cleveland Indians. That's what we're using. And we're going to run this card out because it's better than the next cards until 76 Nettles card, where he leads the American League in home runs with 32. So Nettles here, with the Indians, had 17 homers and a .253 batting average. 1-8, homer 1-10, and he gets it. And we got a ball game in Fenway. 5-3. Stick Michael. 1-7's a walk. Bernie Allen, 47 is a single to center field. Michael will not challenge the Lynn arm. You could, New York, start challenging the left fielder's arm because you have Dewey Evans and Lynn have -3s, park related. Rick Miller -2, obviously park related. But Tommy Harper, for the injured Rick Miller, has a +3 arm. Memo on balls hit to left field. Tie runs aboard. First and second. 1 out. Back up top. Sandy Alomar. Here's the pitch. 2-8. Fielder's choice. Runners in the corners have to be held on. Fortunately for Steve Blass, you got a righty, but it's Thurman Munson, and here's the pitch. 1-12. Munson with a low max. Well, now Boston's in the territory of seeing if they can get their starter to go 5 innings to qualify for a win. With a 5-3 lead in a sweepable game. Bottom of the 4th. The Rooster Burleson. 1-7 pops the 3rd. Rico Petrocelli, 3-7's a base hit. He's 2 for 2. Back up top. Whoops. Back up top to Yaz. Jastrzemski. 42 flies to right. And with 2 outs, it's Dewey Evans. 1-9 rolls to short. One big mistake in the first after an error, which probably could have been a double play, I suppose. Yeah, that's the difference in this game. In the top of the 5th. It'll be Gene Locklear. 35's a base hit. Blass is nothing the last inning or so. Bobby Mercer, 34, pitcher B. Fielder's choice, Roy White. 2-4, center. And with 2 outs, it's Chris Chambliss having a nice year. Could use a big hit here. 4-4 off Blass is a fly ball to right field. We got him through 5. Probably, you know, and then you've got the longmen who aren't very good. So Red Sox are going to need some more runs, I think. And a guy to get it is coming up. But before that, let's pause a moment for station identification.
This is the Shrimp Trawler video channel.
Este es el canal de videos de camaroneros.
All right, the MVP will lead off, Fred Lynn. 35, a base hit. Now you got Fisk batting cleanup. Probably having bat cleanup all year. 5-4-3 double play, though. They'll get you. If you're wondering, the missing piece is Jim Rice. He'll come here next year. They can only add 275 guys. They added Lynn and Cecil Cooper. So next year they'll add Jim Rice, and I don't know who will join him, but that's the general plan. Here is Cecil Cooper, 310, single to 1, lines out. All right, 5-3 in the 6th. It's Nettles, homered last at bat. 68 pops the 3rd. Stick Michael, 510, catcher's X. Fisk is a 1-16? Really? Yeah, it really is. And Bernie Allen, 63. Pitcher X and Blast is an E11. Makes the play. Blast has settled down a little bit. McAndrews certainly has settled down in the bottom of the 6th. Dwayne Anderson, 46, is second X. That should be a hit for most pitchers. He's that good. Alomar's a 2-19 at second base. His second single of the game off his 2. Look at that. 2 defense on. Tough break for Sandy Alomar. And now you got Tommy Harper in for the injured Rick Miller. 1-4. That's a 6-4-3 double play out of a speedy Tommy Harper. Hits into a reasonable amount of double plays for a guy that fast. A little surprising. 2 outs now, and the Rooster Burleson. 69 lines to first. Again, both pitchers have the same pitching template, the 5-4 card. That's the difference of the game. Blast has not surrendered a 5-4 dinger. And the Boston Sox have one and almost another. Top of the 7th. Blast. I think we're going to protect him from possibly losing. 2 base runners. We'll get him out of there so he cannot lose the ball game. Maybe we'll go long with Moret and Abernathy since a sweep is in their pocket. Now, speaking of sweep in their pocket, Boston's not taking any chances. Doug Griffin is coming into the game. He'll go to second base. And Burleson started the game at second. And in his initial year of 74, he could do that. He's going to move over to shortstop with Griffin coming in. We'll go to the top of the 7th. And it'll be Sandy Alomar, 0 for 3. 48, single 1 of 5. Cannot get it. Thurman Munson, 34, rolls to third and with 2 outs. Gene Locklear, 1 for 3 today. 35, base hit. And your tie run is Bobby Mercer. Let's take a look at the Bobby Mercer card. If you had all followed the Winter Baseball Classic spring training, we used this Bobby Mercer card. He had 9 homers in 22 games. I guess that's great, but you don't want to use them all up, is the theory. But boy, this card hit some dingers. Mercer in 72, 33 bombs and a 292 average after hitting 331 the previous year. Hits more home runs, less batting average. He is your tie run. Probably. Oh boy, you know what? I'm hooking him. You know what? After the mound visit, I'm taking Blast out. 6 2/3. I'm getting the lefty in there. Even a bad one. Chris Short gives up fewer homers than Steve Blass. Chris Short, the long man, probably just will face Mercer, maybe Nettles. Wasn't very good for the Brewers in 73. 3 and 5 with a 5.13 ERA in 72 innings. We call him a lefty specialist, even though he isn't. He's just somebody who isn't right-handed to face Bobby Mercer in this pivotal moment of the game. In the 7th, Chris Short to Bobby Mercer with 2 outs and a man at first. Here we go. Here's the pitch to Bobby. 2-10. That is single 1 of 6. Oh, he gets the 6. Big break for the Yanks. Automatic hit versus the righty. On a 6 versus a lefty, and he just gets it in there. Now you got to decide with this Short character. You got a switch hitter, but then you got the 2 lefties. And Boston's going to roll the dice here with a 2-run lead. Let him face Roy White, because Roy White does not have any power. So here we go. First and second, 2 outs. The pitch to Roy White. 56 is a sky to center field. And Chris Short ends the inning, and he'll continue into the 8th for a couple batters. 5-3 in Boston. Stretch time, Fenway Park. We are enjoying Boston's sons, the Arrow of Smith. What I think is their best record. I know hardly anybody else would say that, but Rocks, 1976. I think this and Toys in the Attic were released simultaneously. It's really strange. They just had 2 great records coming up at the same time. This one just doesn't have the hit. There's no Sweet Emotion on here or Dream On or one of those big billion-dollar sellers. But it's a great LP, I think, from top to bottom. Licking a Promise, big one there. That's a great one. That's nobody's fault. This one, Back in the Saddle. Last Child, I think was the hit. Great music from Air of Smith. Back to the game. Jim McAndrew, starter 7. 1 mistake in the first. Really good sense. We're going to give him a chance to chase a victory and a comeback. He'll face Petrocelli, who's 2 for 2. 5-10's a walk. That was probably a mistake. Now you got Yaz. And then Lynn's coming up this inning. And maybe, just maybe, yep. Maybe because you're down 0-3, you have to really start playing this like a playoff series now. So that's it. And they're going to go in the 7th inning. Yeah, they're going to go all the way to Sparky Lyle now. Sparky Lyle, because he's left-handed now, 9-5, 192 ERA with the Yankees in 72, 108 innings. This is the first year out of Boston. He was traded for Danny Cater. So he hears some boos from the Fenway faithful here in the 7th inning. Sparky Lyle coming on in to face Yastrzemski, the runner at first. Here's the pitch. 2-8 for Yaz. Let's take a look at the card for Yastrzemski. 73, 296, 19 homers. The big news is the 105 walks. So after the monster 1970, just monster MVP robbery, didn't get the MVP, but he had the best season in the American League. You could argue that Yaz in 70 and Freddie Lynn in 79 were both jobbed out of MVP awards. But anyway, Yaz had kind of mediocre 71s and 72s. Then he put together 73 and 74 where he was walking over 100 times again, being a little bit more selective at the plate, and it paid off. Here against the lefty, 2-8 is a base hit in the center field, and once again, Petrocelli will hold at second, just like last time. All right, Yaz, 3 for 4. So now you got first and second, nobody out for Dwight Evans. 34 is a 6-4-3 double play. Oh boy. That gets the runner to the third for Fred Lynn. 39 is a strikeout. Sparky Lyle bears down. 5-3 game into the 8th. Short will continue against the lefties Chambliss and Nettles. Here's Chambliss. 68 is a walk. Uh-oh. Now Greg Nettles with a big homer earlier in this one. 68, another walk, and that'll do it. Some Boo Birds are wondering, why in the hell did you leave Chris Short in there? I'm like, well, he's a lefty. He was facing lefties. Yeah, but it's Yankees. Everybody's a switch hitter or lefty in this lineup. So you have switch hitter Michael, lefty Allen, switch hitter Alomar, then a righty, then a lefty, a switch, a lefty, and a lefty. I think I should go to Roger Moret, because I think he's just the best pitcher on the team, you know. Well, not really, but we're going to go to Roger Moret, one of those guys. Very curiously, Roger Moret, let me just read you his stats. 73, he was 13-2 with a 3.17 ERA in 156 innings. 13 wins, 2 losses. He also once went 14 wins and 3 losses, and he had another season that was like 10-2. His winning percentage in Boston was historic, without qualifying for, you know, some lifetime award. But he just won for the Red Sox, and then he disappeared. I think he finished his career with Atlanta or something. Had some injuries in there. So Moret's going to come in here, and Moret would be the loser, as soon as I say that, as the Yankees have the tie runs on board with nobody out. In the 8th, Roger Moret will face Gene Michael, the shortstop, and here is the pitch. 2-7 for Stick Michael is a K. Now you got the number 9 hitter, lefty Bernie Allen, so we'll get a pinch hitter. And we're going to go with Elliot Maddox. Elliot Maddox, you know, what gets lost when you talk about what the Yankees were like before the 76 World Series. Elliot Maddox was really one of the best players in the Yankees in 74 and 75. As a matter of fact, in 74, this card of Maddox hits 303. He's top 10. Top 10 in MVP votes, folks. Look at the list. He's on the same list with Burroughs and all the big stars of 74. Rather remarkable. So he's going to step in the box with 1 out and runners at first and second. And here is the pitch to Elliot. 67 is a K, and with 2 outs, we have to go back up top to Sandy Alomar, he'll just, here we go, Sandy Alomar. Here is the pitch. 6-11 off Moret is second X, but we installed Doug Griffin a few innings ago. 2019 second baseman makes the play. Big inning for Roger Moret. 2 walks, then he sets the side down in order after that. It stays 5-3 in the bottom of the 8th. Do you want to go 2 innings with Lyle? You may as well. You're 3 outs away from being swept. So Lyle will continue against Pudge Fisk. 1-4 left. Batting for Cecil Cooper. Dwayne Josephson. Dwayne Josephson will pinch hit here. He was actually played for the Red Sox in 72 with a .268 average as a pinch hitter. A year before, he probably could have been their designated hitter. I think he played for Kansas City or the White Sox as well. Catcher first base type, backs up Fisk. Here's the pitch to our boy Dwayne Josephson. 59 short X. This is Stick Michael for E34. That's a base hit. It's going to be a while till Bucky Dent shows up in New York. I'll tell you that. Runner at first for Doug Griffin. 4-4 off of Sparky Lyle. Homer 1. Fly ball the rest. It is the rest. And with 2 outs, it's Tommy Harper. 64 short X. And again, 334. This time makes the play. So, you know what? We got an interesting ball game. It's 5-3. Yankees certainly had their chances. 4 base runners here. 5 runs in the first by Boston, and they hit the snooze alarm after that. You got Ted Abernathy ready to go, but Moret sees a couple lefties behind Munson, so he's going to stick around. He's also a relief 4 starter 6. Could be a 2-inning save for all we know. Thurman Munson will lead off in the 9th. 57's a K. Now you got Gene Locklear. Bringing in Swoboda or Kendall is just an invitation to bring in Ted Abernathy for the Red Sox, who's better than Moret. Let's take a look at the Locklear card. Fantastic little stint for him with the Padres in 75, hitting .321, 250 at-bats. I think after he bombs in New York, I think he goes to Japan and has a pretty damn good career over there. One of the first U.S. players to play overseas there. And you know what? He hits lefties pretty well. So he's going to stay in the lineup. And he's 2 for 4 today. Has scored a run. Here's your pitch to Gene Locklear. 46, he walks off of Moret. That means that Mercer is the tie run, who is 2 for 4 today. Moret was brought in specifically to face Bobby Mercer. Actually, Chris Short was a lefty. But a lefty is what it'll be for Bobby Mercer. Roger Moret to Bobby Mercer. Here's the pitch. 43 is left X. You don't have Rick Miller. You have Tommy Harper, but he's a 3E4. And he makes the catch. Fly ball A. Runner will tag up. Doesn't matter that much. It's a 5-3 game. And with 2 outs, it's Roy White. Let's take a look at Roy White's card. By 1974, he had lost his range and, of course, never really had the arm. Good leadoff hitter, but it was slumping, so we decided to put it in the middle lineup. Let's see if it pays off here. He is 1 for 4 with an RBI. And here's the pitch to Roy White. 2-6 is a roller to short. The Yanks just cannot get out of their blocks this year. They had opportunities in the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning. They could not do it. Give Roger Moret a 2-inning save. And the Boston Red Sox have done a number on the New York Yankees. They have swept them in 4 straight. We'll just take this through the post game here, folks. Yankees, they don't look good. No, sir. Not happening. Roger Moret used effectively in relief today. No room in the rotation with Tiant and the Spaceman, and recently acquired Steve Blass and Rick Wise. So they made him a closer setup with Ted Abernathy, acquired in a deal. Chris Short, he gave up a single to Mercer and 2 walks in the 3rd inning. Steve Blass does get a W. A little bit shaky, 9 hits in 6 2/3. The 3 runs were all earned. A walk, a couple Ks. Sparky Lyle came on in the 7th. A hit and a strikeout. And in the 8th, a hit. Tough defeat for Jim McAndrew. 9 hits and 5 runs. The first 5 batters of the game all scored. That was it. You have an error in there. I can call 4 unearned runs. 2 walks, strikeout. There's your box. 1019, 0108, 511, 310, 4522, 2245. But let's go look at the year-to-date numbers. Well, the bad news for Yankee haters is there's not much to hate. They're in bad shape. I mean, you could have hated them last year when they were doing well, but you almost feel sad for them now. It's a good team, but they've got the bad luck blues this year, looks like. So here we are. Each team's played 7 times. Boston has gotten out of their hole, and they're back over 500. They're 4-3. Boston's hitting .292. They got a .319 ERA. So good news for them. Meanwhile, your New York Yankees, folks, winless. 7 straight losses to start the season. They're hitting .243. They got a .480 ERA. You know, the numbers really aren't horrible. They're just not very good, of course, and they're just losing games by 2, 3, 4 runs. They haven't gotten blown out a lot or anything, but a loss is a loss is a loss, and the Yankees have suffered a bunch of those. By the way, we'll also take a peek at year-to-date games played through 114 games. Our league is hitting .266, and the league ERA is .401. That's pretty high. By the end of the year, it'll probably be down to .350 to .380, somewhere in there, once the pitching arrives more and the playoff teams start playing more frequently. The teams with bad pitching are usually out by then, and there you have it. Break up the Boston Red Sox. Anytime they can sweep the New York Yankees, they are loving it in Fenway Park. The Fenway faithful have to be pleased with this result. Thanks for checking this out, and we'll see you next time.